Hello, I'm Daryl. Welcome back to Sweet Hot Rods and Honey. It's been a while since we've made a video, but I just wanted to catch you up on what's going on. You know, we're still working on the 51 Ford pickup truck, and we're coming down to the wire of finishing this truck up. Well, to get it out on the road, that is. You know, we've done the wet sanding and did the compound polishing last week, and the weekend before I was working on putting the final touches on the finish polish, and that turned out pretty well. And today I was working on waxing. So let me just show you what I've been doing and you know, catch you up. Alright, so I'm relatively happy with how things are turning out on the truck. The wet sanding, it's a pain, and polishing is just a lot of work. I used a compound and got the majority of the orange peel off, and it doesn't look bad. I found a lot of imperfections that I missed when I was doing the body work, but if you see it, let me know. The fenders and the color combination I really like. I think it turned out pretty well. So like I said, I was polishing last week, and I used this 3D brand 1, and that was more or less, well, I'm using it as a final polish. So that turned out pretty nice. And it was a lot easier than doing the rubbing compound. In the areas that I really couldn't get with the machine, I used this. I had this old bottle of rubbing polish, and it, you know, took out a lot of the dull finish from wet sanding, and so it did pretty well. So a lot of that was over in here where there's tight spots and you can't get a machine in. So I was happy that I had that. Now, what I'm doing today is putting wax on. So I'm using this Zymol, and it's a wax cleaner. And I've used this a few times. I've had this bottle probably for about 3 or 4 years, sitting in my garage shelf, and it's still good. But the thing that I really like about it is that it goes on easy and it comes off easy, and that makes it a lot less work. I don't know, as far as longevity goes, you know, how good it is to protect for, you know, how long, but this truck is going to be kept in a garage and you know, kind of pampered. So that's what I did. So I've done the cab, I've done the front fenders, and the running board and the doors and the hood, and it's looking pretty good. So what I've got to do is the back fenders, the, you know, parts of the bed, or the box I should call it. The bed's not really even in there yet, and I've been undecided exactly what I wanted to do. I was thinking about making an elevated bed to, you know, one hinge with actuators, so it would lift up and down. And the reason I need it to, you know, be lifted up and down is not to access anything in the front here, but I need access to my gas tank. And I mean, I could put a permanent bed that doesn't move, and then, you know, use a trapdoor through the wood or the material that goes on the bed. but I just don't know yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I put the running board hardware on, and I'm just going to do the outside. I might paint those black. Right now they're shiny stainless, and they look fine. But I don't know if I want to keep it that way or paint them black. And I would use some kind of I guess maybe the paint that I have for pinstriping, the One Shot. The one thing that's not quite right on the hood and the hood latch is it's not lining up perfectly. So I might have to egg out these bolt holes, for the mount, and slide this forward so that this hole matches up with the pin. The engine, we got our new air cleaner on, and that's good. I'll probably have to fasten that down, make up a bracket. I haven't done it yet, but that's ready to go. The engine and the tune, I downloaded another tune, or uploaded a tune to it that I made some more adjustments for airflow. And I had a little bit of difficulty when I loaded the PCM. I thought that I could just plug into the OBD connector that I have down in here. You can't see it, but it's there. And so that I was getting connection failures, and I couldn't even read the VIN number from the ECM. So what I had to do is disconnect the blue connector on the ECU, and I connected up my test harness to the ECU with the dongle, and I'm using the MaxLink, and that and plug it in. I got a AC adapter, so it provides 12 volts to the dongle. So using that and then Bluetoothing it to my computer, which I just bought another computer, and that seems to work fine. It's reliable. So what I did was, just to make sure I didn't load something and brick out the ECU, I downloaded the program that was currently in it, and that was a modified program that I made that took out I increased the idle speed. I removed some of the DTC codes, because it doesn't have the O2 sensors for the downstream beyond the catalytic converter. They're gone. The catalytic converter is gone. I only have the front O2 sensors. So I made that modification, and I had the VATs deleted. So I wanted to make sure that I could download that file reliably from the ECU, and I could. So I confirmed that I could do a comparison of that hex data with the file that I used to load it a couple months ago. So then what I did was I made some more changes to, I removed the EGR sensor data because we don't have an EGR. I also modified the idle again. I bumped it up just a bit more. And then because I have a cam, a little bit of a cam in this engine, I added some more airflow, or actually fuel, to account for the extra airflow that the cam is allowing. And also I had ported the heads. So, everything was stock except the cam. All new bearings. I rebuilt the engine and transmission. So I didn't make any changes to the transmission. No shift points have been changed. Only trying to get it to idle better in neutral and also in gear. So I haven't fully tested it. I started it up and it idles. And today it's just been too hot. So I'm going to keep the garage closed up. Right now it's about, close to 80 degrees in here, and if I open up the garage door to run the engine, it would go well up into the 90s. So anyway, that's about the extent of what I've updated. I'm still waiting for the clasps to keep the tailgate in. And yeah. Oh, one thing, which is kind of annoying, is the door weather stripping that I put on is entirely too thick. It just, I have to slam this door to get it to latch, and it still is not flush. I mean, even if I move the clasp in further inboard, I would never be able to get the door to shut. So that's kind of annoying, but I put the weather stripping on the passenger side. I did not put it on the driver's side because I'd just never be able to get the darn door closed. And because of that, I've washed the truck and I've got some water inside, in and around the door seal. Well, there's no door seal. And I think there's some coming in this front vent. Also, I didn't have a sealer up here around the top edge of the windshield. So I added some 3M butyl caulk, and that hopefully is going to seal that up. We'll find out when I wash it again. But I don't know what to do about the seal. Maybe is not, it may not be sealing all the way down onto the rubber gasket. So if it doesn't, I think maybe when I wash it, I'll flip it up and jam a rag in, or lay a towel or rag in across there, close it so that the rag will catch the water instead of it going all the way down into the electronics and electrical stuff on inside the dash. I just don't want that to happen. So, all right, let me get back to doing some waxing. It's been satisfying because I am almost done with that. Oh, forgot to mention, I've got the truck up on jack stands on the back end, and that is in order to find out my clearance on the running boards, because it's pretty low. I think I've got it at the right height that I need it in order to get over the speed bumps that we have. And what I'm going to do, well, I've been pondering this in my mind. What I was going to do was put shackles on the back of these leaf springs, which I bought shackles, but I'm going to hold off on doing any of that. So that was one possibility. The other was, well, I could put in a 4-link suspension, which I'm not going to do because I got to tear everything back apart. And with the bed on and with the whole truck put together, it's just wrong. So I'm not going to put in a 4-link, but that would have fixed the problem that I'm currently having, and that is to raise the rear end up. The air shocks that I have are just not doing the job. They're not pushing the leaf springs out far enough. Another possibility was, and my buddy mentioned, well, we can take off these leaf springs and re-spring them, which means you can use a press and get more, right now they're not flat, but there's not as much bend in them. So if you use a press, you can, bend them up so there's more of a bow, a bigger smile on a smiley face. So that's still a possibility, but I think what I'm going to do, and I'm waiting on new rims or another set of rims. I got 15-inch rims by 8-inch, and they're universal. They're either 4.5-inch lug spacing or 4 3/4. I wanted to use those because the little Mooney is going to cover that up. But I'm putting on different tires, and these are basically truck tires. The tread is pretty aggressive, so I don't know how much noise they're going to be making. But these are 31 by 10.5 by 15-inch rim. So the height is actually, the diameter of the tire is 31 inches. And that's pretty much where the truck is sitting right now would be the height of the running boards off the ground. So it's about that would be 15.5 inches radius from center to ground, and that's what it is right now. We should have plenty of space up in the wheel well. The issue that I'm concerned about is if the bulge of the tire, if it's gonna hit the inside of the box. Will I need a spacer to give me a little bit of clearance here on this side? And then if I do that, will I have enough clearance here to be able to change the wheel if I have to? I don't want to drop the leaf springs in order to change a tire, but if it came to that, that's a possibility. So anyway, so I had the tires. I'm waiting on the rims. They were back ordered, and what I'll do is I'm going to be painting them black, just like this, black with a clear coat, and get those tires mounted onto the rims. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So, all right, now it's time to do some waxing. So I have a nice clean pad that I had from Turbo Wax kit. I probably have had for 25 or 30 years. Doesn't take a whole lot of the Zymol. And like I said, it goes on really, really easy. And do a section at a time. Circular motion. It's like a dime size, little blob of this stuff. What I'll do is I'll just do this back edge right here. One over here. It hazes up pretty quickly, and they say it's ready to wipe off. And it is pretty, it's dried to a haze already. It's probably because it's pretty warm. It's warm in the garage. I really like it because it's easier to wipe off than some of the paste waxes that you really have to work hard at getting it off. And if it doesn't last as long, if it's not as good as the others, that's okay. It's protecting it. And just have to apply it more often. So, and just continue on. You could probably use a machine to apply it, but that would be more work than it's worth. And not really necessary. All right, I guess I'll do this flat part here. Just don't want to do this out in the sun. It may then become very difficult to remove if it gets baked on with the sun. And in fact, this may be stretching it too much too, but it's easy to get off. All right. And it doesn't really leave a residue. Just keep changing your towel around. Shake it out. And if the microfiber towel gets too caked up with wax, just got a clean towel. I'm sure if you used ceramic coating, it would last longer, but just old-fashioned wax works nice. All right, I see a spot back in there that I had sanded and I missed polishing, so I might use some of this polish and just hit that spot after I get this fender done. As far as the polishing went with this second step of this 3D1, that really took out a lot of the hazing that was left over from the compound. The compound was more difficult to rub off after you applied it. So it was nice that step kind of cleaned that part up, because that haze just didn't look good. This stuff is drying already. So it goes pretty quickly. You can get a lot done in a short amount of time. Get a little bit on the light. Yeah, we'll do this back part. Okay. So I was thinking of the next steps that I've got to do after this truck is finished. Well, the one thing I've got to do is get it out and test drive it. But I need those new tires on here first so that I don't catch the running boards on the speed bumps. But the next thing I think I'm going to do is we're getting ready to have our house painted, the interior. It's been, it's going on 18 years that we built this house, and so I wanted to paint the interior inside the house also, because I've been painting out here, spraying. You got overspray all over the walls, so And certainly I painted the floor once and kind of ruined it. So I'm probably going to paint this garage ceiling and walls and then redo the floor with gray and the multicolor speckles. And probably not paint here anymore because that really kind of messes up finished walls and floors. All right, this is looking good. And I think I missed a spot back here where I didn't polish. So. All right. All right, let me get a rag. And I'm going to just do this one strip here. It's this little gap between the bed and the box, or the cabinet box. Just that edge I missed. I had wet sanded it, but I didn't polish it. And then the same back here. I missed this alongside the tailgate. Oh, all right, let me get a rag and hit that. Well, I polished it and waxed it, but it's not perfect, but it's so far back in there. All right, let me try this tailgate area. This should work out a little bit better. I might have to drop the tailgate down and hit it with the machine. It's sort of, well, let me go get the orbital polisher. I don't know, maybe not. This should be okay. I'm not going to do any more than this. It's got a shine, but it doesn't have like that silky feel to it. Put a little bit of wax on there. Call it done. Wait, what happened to my microfiber down there? It is. All right. Looking good. Okay, so that's the driver's side. We've got everything waxed, polished. I'll have to do the inside of the bed, the passenger side fenders. And I guess I won't be able to show you when the rims come. I think they're going to be shipped in, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. So it may be a while till I get them mounted and try to put them on, but I'll make a video when that happens, and then we're probably going to do a test drive real soon. But I'm going to wait till the heat. There's a bad heat wave on the whole East Coast the next 4 days. So I just wanted to give you a quick review of what's happening with the truck. You know, it's the last 5% that seems to take a lot longer than it should, but it just does. But in general, I'm happy with the, you know, well, there's flaws in some of the paint. I've got some of that fixed with wet sanding, and then polishing compound, and then a finished polish, and now, you know, we're waxing. So I just wanted to give you a quick update and show you what's happening. So join me for the next video. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing. It could still be this truck. It could be painting the walls in the garage, or it could be a test drive of the truck. We'll see. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.